kind of bone will a dog never eat?
I don't know.
A trombone.
Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour. Warning. The following podcast is another wasted hour.
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
Womp, 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 womp.
You're not
womp,
even
womp,
mad.
No. This is
I'm Yep, I get it. It's a trombone.
Yeah.
I'm smelling just stepping in.
Yeah, that was it. This officially is the point in time in the show that the kids can no longer listen to. He does the funny joke that's kid related, and then we move into the adult stuff immediately.
The intro already said, "Don't waste my motherfucking time."
Well, they got to learn sometime, right? All right. So, everybody, welcome to another Wasted Hour. We're still here, which is amazing because if you're not aware, the East Coast was basically blown away. It doesn't exist. It's just flat now. There was a huge windstorm that came through. It destroyed all kinds of things. Luckily, all of those things will be replaced with two ignorant, uninformed, ill-advised, self-deprecating morons ranting about opinions they have no right to have, which are probably wrong and absolutely do not matter. Our goal here at Another Wasted Hour is to convince you that where we hail from just outside Washington, D.C. is not just a city of politics and scandals, but one that was flattened by wind and no longer has any buildings, and is brimming with art, music, and culture, as impossible as that may seem. So listeners, now that you know why you're here, I'm Keith, and my co-host is Victor. Victor, say hello.
What's going on?
More importantly, we have in studio the greatest of the North Whites here, Camille Miller.
Yay!
Welcome to the show.
Whoop, whoop. Thank you, guys.
Now, in true Canadian fashion, you showed up exactly a half hour early.
Half an hour, not an hour.
Yeah.
Let's not push it.
That's true. If you had been more Eastern Canadian, maybe then it would have been a whole hour.
Yeah, that's quite
Stop
embarrassing.
exaggerating, Keith.
And which was very nice of you. And of course, the whole time she was like, "Oh, I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm here early." And it's like, it's okay, because most musicians don't know how to show up on time. So this makes you a very rare breed of musician, one that's early.
The sad part was that I was outside for half an hour before I thought I should come in.
See?
So I was just waiting.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
So you
making
were
sure
here
I was
an
at the
hour.
right place.
You were here an hour early. You didn't come to the door.
Yeah, it's sad.
So what you're saying is you wasted an hour out there.
another hour waste. Yeah, there
Yeah.
we go. Yeah, just to
2 wasted hours you've got today.
Awesome.
How did you handle the wind? You're not from this area. And so what was it like? This wind, did you have anything break on you or fly away?
I'm not experienced with all this wind, so I found it quite alarming.
Really? Because you're from Canada. I assume they've got wind up there.
No. There's no wind. It's cold. It's rainy.
It's just very still.
A lot of people playing hockey.
Well, that's
But
true.
there's no wind.
I guess that makes the cold more bearable, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
If there was wind, you'd be like, I'm not going on that lake. That's terrible. There's
Yeah,
wind.
our whole culture would be messed up if you added wind.
There has to be some wind somewhere. It's not like birds are just flying out, like falling out of the sky from lack of
Well,
wind.
I think there's a couple of provinces towards
You know
the
birds can
east.
flap their wings, right, Keith?
Yeah, but that's not how they fly. It's wind.
I think there's
Right.
a couple of windy provinces.
What was
but
I thinking?
Not Vancouver.
No,
Not BC.
okay. It's like when you skydive. Like you fall, but then the wind comes and it pushes you back up.
All right, Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, no, it's totally how it works. Physics. We're learning physics today.
It's a physics
Yay.
show.
Look at us. We're educational. We're good for you.
How about you, Victor? How did the wind affect you? Do you still have a home?
So we knew the windows in our apartment were kind of drafty.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about it before, how the
Sure.
baby's room, it doesn't retain any heat whatsoever, so we can't even use it.
Yeah.
But we got a letter in the mail that was like, okay, this is the leasing office, and we've got an offer for you for the coming year. We're going to raise your rent 5%. How's that sound? And we're like,
Whoa,
No.
what a deal.
no,
Awesome.
and then the windstorm comes through, and there's so much air coming in through those windows that it just feels like the AC's on like brutally cold. So I saran wrapped the window. The
Yeah.
wind just blew it off, and it was just a motherfucker.
You
I
need
could
the
not
sticky
insulate
one.
that window.
I told
So
you
we're
about
all
this.
shivering.
Yeah, you can actually get that. There's sticky saran wrap. Maybe in Canada, you know about this.
We do this in Canada. There's stuff you go down and you buy it and you take your hairdryer and you put it all the way around your windows.
That's exactly what I got.
Yeah, it's great.
There is so much air that comes through the draft in that window that it blew the plastic off of the window.
No, but this is like it has sticky adhesive stuff on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
On the edges, right?
And then it melts with the heats with the hairdryer, right?
Yeah.
I did exactly that. It didn't stand a chance.
No.
See, we don't have
And then I
wind in
taped it down
Canada.
with packing tape, and it all it ripped the paint off the wall. That's how much air is coming in through my goddamn closed window.
Is it was the window open? Maybe you were confused about how windows
I
work.
checked.
Clean windows.
No, it was open, but like they want to raise our rent 5%. We literally can't use the second room in our apartment. I'm like, nah. Not gonna happen.
It should go down 25% because one room is not usable.
Right. But there's shingles and siding thrown all over the complex.
Yeah, we've got little twigs and stuff and branches everywhere. We didn't really get hit very hard here. The studios are here in Reston, and we have one really great advantage, and that is that at least parts of Reston, as part of it's a planned community. It's one of the first planned communities in the United States. So everything was like, this is going to be a neighborhood, that's going to be like a shopping center and everything like that. And one of the tenets that they had, one of the rules was that because they wanted to have open nature everywhere, all the power lines have to be underground.
That's awesome.
That's brilliant, yeah.
And so we didn't lose power. A lot of people lost power during the storm, and we didn't. Some people lost power and they got a notice that was like, yeah, you're not going to have it for like a week.
Yeah.
Just go somewhere else.
A lot of our neighbors in Bethesda lost power. They closed the school down. So I, of course, sent the kids out to play,
Right.
As you do. But then I did look out and there was pieces of branches of trees flying through the air, impaling our front yard, nearly missing my Toyota.
Yeah.
And so that was a bad idea.
You were like, kids, come back.
Come on inside. Stay in the basement.
You're not quite good enough at dodging yet.
Right. Serpentine.
Yeah.
Because that works with nature.
Right. And so, that is just crazy. I saw somebody's Jeep just got smushed by an entire tree. And
Oh, that sucks.
I know. It's super bad. But yeah, I was really happy that we basically avoided all scathing from this particular storm. So we were really lucky. I don't know how we did it. If for some reason you are listening to the show and you are still without power, may I suggest on Thursday, March 15th, going to the Vinyl Lounge in Washington, D.C. There's power there. There's going to be some great music because our guest, Camille Miller, is going to be playing there.
I'm so excited. I'll bring extra blankets and warm clothes because I'm Canadian and that's just what we do. I'll provide beer and maple syrup.
That's what you carry with you at all times.
Totally.
Or maple syrup flavored beer.
Right.
Oh.
You just have a Labrador retriever, or no, not a Labrador. What is it? A Saint Bernard.
Saint Bernard in the Toyota
with a barrel of maple syrup under his chin, and you just pour it into people's mouths when they're cold.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I'm here for you.
It's just the way Canada is. So yeah, you're going to be playing there. I assume we actually have a track, which I assume you're going to be playing at the show.
I will. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is a track from your brand new album. The album's called Fight or Flight, and we have a track called Lion.
Yes.
And we're going to play that a little later. We have a clip that we're going to play. If you can't wait, if you're like, this woman sounds so amazing, I need to hear her music now, fast forward to the 1 hour mark of this show, and you can listen to the entire track uninterrupted. Come back and join us, and you can hear the rest of the show. We won't go anywhere as long as you come to this exact point in the podcast. If you want to hear more music and learn about more shows that are coming up, head to www.camillemiller.com. That's Camille. Miller, if you don't know how to spell that, just go to hell. And go check out her website and listen and pick up one of the CDs. How many tracks are on the CD Fight or Flight?
This one's 10.
10. So like a full album.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
A lot of people do EPs and things these days.
I've got a couple of EPs and a few full albums.
That's very cool.
So they have a choice.
Was there a particular theme to it? I mean, what's the Fight or Flight concept?
The fight or flight, we all go through that fight or flight when somebody confronts you and
Sure.
you either fight. And so I was feeling at this time,
Yeah.
a lot of the songs are basically about feeling that general emotion, I think, as becoming a parent and as your kids get older and you that emotion comes up a lot more and you learn how to deal with it, right?
I'm glad that you made this album and then I didn't, because I would have made fight or flight or urinate and cry. Like that's the third. There's a third.
That's my
option.
next album.
Don't forget freeze.
Yeah,
Fight, flight, and freeze.
Yeah, third option. Piss yourself and just cry.
Yeah.
And that's what I would have done. Especially if there's a lion.
At least you won't freeze because you'll be warm because you peed.
That's true. And there's a lion, so my hope is that the lion would be like, "I'm gonna eat you." Oh God, urine! There's urine everywhere.
Oh, it's a
defense.
lion,
What's-
like Simba, Mufasa, lion.
Yes.
I thought we just weren't telling the truth.
No.
See, I think this is like you lion, like that. I think it's an accent thing. It's lion, like
Lion. No,
Yeah.
I think what it is because I'm the one that said it. I think it's that we are both projecting. Is that we are both lying bastards, and we're like, no, I'd understand a song about that.
No, you're like, this girl just sat outside and she's written a song about lying.
Lying in her car,
yeah.
taking a nap.
That's a pun right there.
I
And
know.
I don't know how upset I am about it. That was actually a good one.
So speaking of lying, we are going to give you an opportunity right now to try a brand new career that you've never been a part of. I
Dun,
think.
dun, dun.
I actually genuinely don't know if you've ever had this. We are going to make you the editor-in-chief of your brand new personal publication.
I've never done this before. I'm ready.
Okay,
Let's do it.
So this is called the Weather Report. What we're going to do is you've got a new publication. We're going to pitch you some ideas of stories that we think maybe should be in your publication, and you're going to decide whether or not they make the cut or whether or not they should be news. You can use whatever criteria you want. You can let us know where in the publication you might put it if you'd like. It depends on how creative you'd like to be. At the end of this Weather Report, we're going to need a name for your brand new publication so that our listeners can go on to the newsstands and find it and read it themselves as if it really exists. And so, without further ado, Victor, would you like the honors?
I would love the honors. This happened in the United Kingdom. So, man resided in woods for 10 years because wife nagged him too much.
I feel like we've had this before.
She just wouldn't shut up. So it says she didn't like me being out of the house for long periods of time. The controlling behavior started to get out of hand. She demanded I cut my hours. After he tried to work it out, he left without saying anything to anyone for a decade. He ended up in a nursing home, and he called his sister recently, who thought he was dead.
I got so carried away.
We had a story last year that was almost identical to this, wasn't it? And like the guy came out of the woods. I think it was in the UK. So this guy was like, that's a great idea, and did the same thing. What's
Or
with
maybe
the UK?
10 years. So he probably did it first. The other guy was like, yeah, I could try that.
Yeah. Where is there a club somewhere in the UK where it's like, hey, you tired of your old lady? No problem. Now become a bear. Like, what is going on?
You know,
right.
it almost sounds more like a Canadian thing, going into the woods than it would be in the UK. And my
That would make more
husband's
sense.
from the UK, and they don't really like to hang out in the woods much, generally. So
Well, maybe that's how they think they could disappear. They're like,
yeah, because no
nobody
one's
in the
going to
UK.
find them. There's no
No, but
pub
see-
in there. There's no,
Right.
they're not going to be found.
There's not a caravan park, so you're good.
But in Canada, they expect people to be like, woodsy and able to survive.
No, that's
the United
true.
Kingdom, it's you come back in the United Kingdom, they're like, oh, you're alive. Where have you been?
I'm going to say that.
What the hell happened?
Do I get to pick whether that's newsworthy yet, or do I have to wait?
Go for it.
I think it's newsworthy because my English husband and my daughter would find that they would do a double check on that. He would not be able to believe it, and he would do a double check. So
Yeah.
it's newsworthy.
I think the big thing to keep in mind here is that the reason it wouldn't happen in Canada is because your wife would just find you. Right? She would just go, she would just hike out and find you.
Absolutely.
She would see your trail and she would track it for 2 weeks and she'd be like, get back in the house.
Yeah, she'd carry you back and extra wood for the fire.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
it would never make the paper.
Guy found.
Yeah.
He's really upset because he's not very good at hiding. It's just the longest game of hide and seek.
It's true. Okay.
All right, so that's one.
Yeah.
One in. I like this one because it's local. So we spoke about the wind earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of windy last week. In fact, it was called Winter Storm Riley. I think it was considered a nor'easter. It tore through neighborhoods and fucked up trees and roofs, and people's power were out. Everyone knew it was coming. We had it on the news and everything. We all kind of buckled down. We took in furniture off of our patios and
Saran wrapped our windows.
Yeah, saran wrapped our windows to no avail.
Pulled our children in.
However, a United flight from Charlottesville, in a hold my beer moment, decided to land a plane in 40-mile-per-hour winds with 70-mile-per-hour gusts. So
Hold my beer.
yeah, what do you
Wow.
think happened as this airliner crab walked its way down to the ground? Well, let's put it this way. There weren't enough sick bags to, how would I put it? Let's just assume they're going to throw the airplane away and start fresh. The pilot was quoted saying, pretty much everyone on the plane threw up.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard this story.
And if you think this is not a reputable source, that's from the Washington fucking Post that wrote a story about everyone throwing up on a plane.
Oh.
Sympathy puking probably had a lot to do with that too.
Yeah. It's like if you yawn in front of somebody, right? It's contagious.
And that had to be the worst. Like they land and everyone's like, oh my God, we're alive. That's great. Yeah. But that, like, you know, the plane slows down and then there's like taxis for like 10 minutes to the gate.
And oh my God, that smell is just
in
you throw
going,
those
oh
clothes.
God, could you just turn the engines back on? Can we get there quicker? Jesus.
Right. You throw those clothes away, whatever you have in the storage compartments, or you Febreze the hell out of it.
You're never gonna get rid of that smell.
Yeah, everyone
ever.
just left their luggage on the plane and we're like, fuck it. I'm never going to use that.
And the in-flight meal was like salmon or something.
Eggs. It's, hey, everybody, it's our famous broccoli egg casserole.
That is not going in the news publication.
That's not news.
No, that is not, because people don't need to read that. They get ideas.
All right, fair enough. Victor has taken the lead.
Alligator in Florida caught window shopping, which is not unusual, but the store was called Junk in the Trunk. Just proving that even if you're an alligator, everybody likes butts.
Yeah.
You got a good butt, you're going to get window shopped. Mm-hmm. I think that's just what's going to happen. So the person didn't call like an emergency number because it's Florida. They were like, I didn't want to startle him. Probably because they'd get eaten. But he eventually walked off and just chilled in front of the next store. I was like, all right, well, got alligator on a shopping spree.
Yeah. The important thing to know is if you're ever confronted with an alligator, urinate yourself and it won't eat you.
You're really down with this, aren't you? This is like the answer for all.
Yeah, well, it's also what I call Friday nights, but it's yes. So do you think that maybe the alligator thought it was like junk in my trunk and it thought, oh, it's an elephant. I'm going to eat an elephant. Like that was...
I was thinking more like maybe I could buy some pants that'll make my butt look good.
All right. So window shopping alligator is a news.
Okay. So now wait a second. I have to just clarify. Do I have to pick two only, right?
No, you can pick as many as you want. It's just you have a very thick publication or just a pamphlet. It's
whatever you want.
No, I'm gonna throw it in.
Oh,
I'm gonna throw it in. Yeah.
She likes you.
No, wait. Well, you've got more. You've got more coming.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I've got, and they're great. All right. So there you go. One more in. This is awesome. Apparently, here's the news flash for everybody. Apparently, Super Bowl ads aren't true. I know. You're blown away.
You're telling me that what I saw on TV wasn't true?
Yeah. What the hell? While I was hoping the 2 bikini-clad models would wrestle my fat ass in a fountain if I sipped a Bud Light, apparently Alexa had an actual outage. And instead of the dulcet tones of Anthony Hopkins delivering thinly veiled threats to users, they just heard, "Sorry, something went wrong." Yeah. Yeah, you know what's wrong? I missed out on Gordon Ramsay insulting people and a sultry Rebel Wilson talking about the bush. That's what's wrong. Nope. No, just the same stupid can Alexa voice saying, "I'm not sure went wrong." Yeah, well, me either, you fucking donut.
Keith's really worked up about this.
Yeah.
You're very impassioned about that. I mean, Alexa, I have issues with Alexa.
Yeah.
So I want that to go in the publication.
People had to turn on their own lights.
No.
And they had
way.
to look up weather by themselves.
What?
Yeah.
No.
They had to say.
How did they get their playlist played? How did they,
Actually, you know what's,
Yeah.
what I use her the most as, I can't say her name because she'll hear me, as Alexa. I just said it. Play white noise and,
Oh,
helps
yeah,
us put the baby to sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
It's awesome.
I'm just waiting for the background to go because it's listening to you.
Oh, yeah,
Right,
I want that
I'm
in the
sorry,
publication.
you suck, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to you.
You can't have it tell you a joke. And I know that you think, oh, my wife or husband could tell me a joke, but they're alive. It's not nearly as much fun.
It's not the same.
All right, so that's news. I got one. This is good. You haven't run away with it yet, Victor. So next is you.
All right. So
Right? Do we have? Oh, that's our 2 and 2, right? So
Yep.
we want to try something different today. We've never done this before.
Okay.
We're gonna do kind of a lightning round. We got a couple more stories, but instead of the long introductions, we're gonna give you headlines. If you have some questions, no
Okay.
problem. You
Okay.
ask us the questions, but then you decide how you want to proceed from there. So, Victor, what do you have for
actually,
your first?
Keith, why
Yeah.
don't you go first? Because
Me?
I got something a little special planned.
Oh, all right. Here's what I think is going to be a good one. Oregon dad made son shoot him to delay prison. Yeah. He wanted to stay out of prison.
Makes sense.
3 ways to stay out of prison. Don't commit crimes. That's no fun, right? Run away to another country. That's really expensive. Have your son shoot you. In the leg. It was, I think, in the leg for the most part.
I'm sure he peed himself
in
too.
the leg, in the
He
legs.
did lose the leg, though.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was
Not
dedicated to
worth
the
it.
bit.
Oh gosh, that's well. I'm going to put it in the publication. I think you need a little bit of hard knock life.
The irony is he was arrested for fraud, and then they added to his sentence because he just did fraud again. So he didn't learn that lesson.
Right.
So all right, that's one. Victor, what do you got?
So I've got a little section proposed for a section in your publication.
Yeah.
That we'll call news around the states.
News around the states.
Okay.
I'm going to throw a couple headlines at you, and you have to guess what state it's from.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Okay.
The first one: man accused of sexually molesting a horse.
Oh well. I don't want to see this.
Woods of
I don't
the
want
UK.
to say it.
No, United States.
It's Virginia.
It's in the United States. But wouldn't that offend people that live in that state?
Not if that's what
No.
they're
Canadian.
into.
I'm Canadian. Come on,
You are
this
never-
goes against what I'm going to do.
Then say
You
Maryland.
will never offend the people of Alabama.
West Virginia is basically Virginia, and you can't insult them enough.
Alabama man accused of sexually molesting a horse.
That makes sense.
Here's one. Here's an easy one. 9-foot alligator traps residents inside apartment complex.
Florida.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Burritos stuffed with meth found by this police department during a traffic stop.
Ah,
Burritos being the key.
Meth. What's Puerto Rico? Is that part of the states?
That is part of the
That's part of the
states, but
states.
not a state. I think he's
And-
going for a state.
Burritos aren't really a thing there.
No. That would be Tex-Mex.
Yeah, they are because of
isn't
all
it?
the Mexicans that are there.
Right.
Burrito. I don't know. I don't know that one.
I mean, New Mexico.
LA, it was during the
Oh, yeah.
LAPD traffic stop.
LAPD.
All right. Last one I got. Here we go. Couple gets married in women's bathroom at courthouse.
Oh, is that Oregon?
No.
Oregon?
Trashier. Think trashier.
I want to say Seattle, Washington, but
No.
trashier. Look, trashier.
She doesn't know the states as well as we do.
No,
That's
I
the
don't.
thing.
Nope. New Jersey
New
couple
Jersey.
gets married in women's bathroom.
Oh
Yeah.
there I can. Yeah,
That
I
is
can-
trashy.
Yeah.
All right. So a last couple that I have, you can just say yes, no to. United Airlines replaces small worker bonuses with the chance to win $100,000.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that's in.
Good. That's good.
We also have, interesting enough, fake news. The Onion, you've heard of The Onion,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
The Onion's fake headline about Cleveland's above-ground sewer system is actually true. They
that's
actually
funny.
have 2 above-ground sewer pipes.
Okay, we'll add that in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm saying yes. I want it
Last
to be
but not
thicker.
least, I've got the White House chief calligrapher has a higher clearance than Jared Kushner.
Oh
Wow.
Well, that's nice. That's
That
good
is
to know.
nice to know.
Yeah.
That is. That gives hope to young and up and coming.
Yeah, higher security clearance than
Yes.
Jared Kushner, the calligrapher.
I don't know if that should go in the news, though. I don't know if that should be known.
Okay, yeah. So we'll hide that.
Yeah, we'll
All
hide
right.
that one.
So there we go. We've gotten the weather report. You've learned all types of things today. More importantly, we need to learn what the name of your new publication is so that people can go to newsstands all across the world and pick it up in whatever language it's published in.
Jeez.
I assume Canadian.
That's a language, right?
Yeah, it's probably.
It's the lazy lion.
I don't speak it, but yeah.
The lazy lion, but not
Why
lion
can't you
as
guys
in
just ever tell the truth?
It's a lion. Do you say this? This might be the UK. When you have a lazy day on Sunday,
Okay.
and you sleep in late.
Yeah.
It's called a lie
In. Oh, no. So we
as
don't have that
opposed to
term.
lion
I'm smelling what
with
you're
or a
stepping in.
lion.
Oh, all
So there
right.
we go, lazy lion.
So you're going to do the lazy lie in.
In, yes.
All right.
That's the kind of
There
news.
has to be a hotel in Canada called the Lie In, right? With 2 N's.
It's probably a motel.
Yeah, motel. I would think so.
Motel, no-tell. One of those.
Do you think
We
it
got-
had to be that?
I'm
Oh.
sure. We got lots of those. I think I stayed in lots of those in bands playing,
Yeah. Well,
motels.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the weather report. Very successful. I think we got a lot of good news in there.
Yep.
How did
Solid.
you feel about your new job?
I feel pretty stressed out actually. I feel the pressure. I
It's
feel the
difficult.
pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's headlines were great. You
Yeah.
don't want to leave one out, but then
Quality. You need to make sure you have the right mix of things for your
Yeah.
publication.
it's tricky.
Yeah. So maybe we just go back to music. Do you feel
I think I do better in that field.
better in
Musically,
music?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we'll stick to that. So speaking of music, you have a show coming up on Thursday, March 15th at the Vinyl Lounge in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
You have a brand new album that just came out called Fight or Flight.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a track from that called Lion, which we're going to play a little snippet of that in just a minute. Tell us a little bit about this album and that particular track. What inspired Lion?
That particular track, and it's the only track on it like the album because I don't want to sound like I'm crazy.
Okay.
Is
Too late. You're already on the show.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know. It's actually I wrote it about as the kids are getting older, finding myself getting really angry very quickly. Whereas
Oh.
my whole life I'm known as being quite chilled, pretty
Yeah.
relaxed.
Okay.
Quite, pretty easygoing, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden I would find myself just like, would be a whiny voice or a this or a that.
Yeah.
It's like, and you
Go
go
outside in the windstorm.
Yes, dodge those tree
Go play
branches.
in the flying trees.
Yeah, what are you, a wimp? Yeah. So
Suck it up.
suck it up. Yeah, we're not in Canada anymore. Yeah. And so I wrote it based on those feelings and trying to have the strength to get past it. I mean, you do.
Yeah.
You get past it all the time. So it's not like I'm not crazy and like psychotic, but you
Sure.
do find yourself, honestly, you find yourself going like, and it's that fight or
Just
flight.
exploding, yeah.
All of a sudden you go
Have
from
you tried
calm.
peeing on them?
Well, I'm not gonna talk about that here. I mean,
It does subdue them.
I do feel in safe company with you guys, so we could talk about that later, but
You're like-
not on air.
You're like,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead, whine again. Do it again.
Isn't that? Don't you do the same thing when your jellyfish stings you? You pee on it.
Yeah, that's a
I
thing.
mean,
Yeah,
so I'm
that's true.
familiar. There's a lot of uses.
It
Yeah.
does get them to quiet down.
Yeah. So that's what that song's about. The other songs are like about butterflies and love and all that.
Oh, okay.
So just to even it out a bit.
A fight or flight with butterflies. It's like, there's a butterfly. Run!
Right.
Into the
Sting like a
forest.
bee? I don't know.
into the woods.
It shuts up the kids because of shock. They're just like, what is happening right now? Oh my God. Okay, I'm never talking again. I'm never speaking to my mom ever again.
Yeah.
That
Mom's
was really
real
scary.
mad. Mom's real mad.
I know. So if people want to grab this album or listen to more snippets from it, I assume they can go up to www.camillemiller.com.
Yeah, they can go there. They can go to Apple Music. They can go to Spotify. They can go to YouTube. Any of the social places. It's everywhere.
Yeah, and they could also go to the Vinyl Lounge on Thursday, March 15th.
Yes.
I assume you will be playing most of your hits from that album,
I will
right?
play,
And there's
I will play
power.
all my hits. There's going
Everything-
to be power. And
Yeah.
if they heard this and they come to the Vinyl Lounge,
Yeah.
I will give them free album.
What?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
I didn't expect that. Okay, so
Sure, why
you've
not?
heard it right now. If you go to the Vinyl Lounge on Thursday, March 15th down in Washington, D.C., and you say, hey, Camille, I heard you on Another Wasted Hour, you get a free CD.
Free CDs.
Never in your life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Never in your life has this show actually been worth anything to you. And now it is worth a free CD.
It's not a completely wasted hour. I think we have to cut. I
gonna
think
have-
this is the end of the show.
We have to rename it. Free CD Another Hour.
That one time.
That one time.
That one time. Buy that Canadian check.
So, well, let's give people a little snippet as to what they would be getting for free on Thursday, March 15th. We have the song Lion. If you want to fast forward to the 1 hour mark of the show, you can listen to the whole track, but let's take a little listen to it here and just for people who are kind of in the groove of the show. So this is from Camille Miller, the track Lion.
Anger creeps up stealth like a bomber, target friendly fire. Heat is rising temper, volcano, clench your fists and smile. We'll go in like a lamb, lash out like a lion. In like a lamb, slash out like a lion. In like a lamb, lash out like a lion. God, just give me wings and I will not be scared of flying.
This is
You
hot.
really want to get away from those kids.
Right? Give me wings. Oh, God, get away from here.
Oh, I feel awful now. It wasn't really all about this. I think my face is going really red. It's like
matching-
child services are going to call me or something.
It's matching your hair now.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bad afternoon.
And that's if people wanted to find you on Facebook, that's your Facebook name, right? Red-haired. Don't you have red-haired pop songs?
Redheaded pop tunes. It's
Pop
always
tunes.
been my.
Yeah.
I like pop.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go. So this is great stuff. I mean, there's a lot of power there. You have a whole band,
Yeah,
I assume, or
that was
did you
cooking.
write and record all that?
Yeah. No, I wrote and I didn't record everything. I recorded it with a band in Brazil. Sao
In Brazil?
Paulo. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
wow.
So,
Oh, you just had to name drop,
I
didn't
know.
you?
Oh wait, yeah. How much more time have we got?
Well, about a half an hour, and it's all going to be wasted on your name dropping.
My country name dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad actually.
So cool. You did this in a studio down in Brazil?
Yes, I was. It wasn't because I was just like hanging. I didn't just fly to Brazil to record an album.
Yeah.
My husband was working and we were living there. Hence, I made the album there.
Oh,
so
so it
any of
wasn't-
my name dropping is completely lost its name droppiness now.
So Camille,
All right. Fine.
I need to stop for a minute and just help you out here because
Okay.
you're missing opportunities left and right. What you should have said is, on a stop during my world tour.
Nobody's gonna like me if I say that.
What? No, you're telling me you've been on a world tour. It's a slow world tour,
Very slow.
right? But it's still
But
a
slow
world
and steady. Slow
Right.
and steady.
It's a
Yeah.
patient world tour.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Stopping off in Bethesda.
Exactly. Right. Where all artists go.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a leg for just about every worldwide artist. You and Shakira and just everybody.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So you don't have that band now when you go to play the Velvet
No, I
Lounge,
don't.
the Vinyl Lounge.
I'm gonna play. I'm playing because the Vinyl Lounge is a small, cool, funky little place. It's
Very
got a,
intimate.
It's got a very intimate stage.
Yes.
Oh,
about
baby. Oh,
half-
baby.
Yeah, it's intimate, like half of that. And
You're pointing to a table on the radio.
Yeah, and
just so you
doing
know.
that.
You're saying it's half the size of this table. People who are
yeah, but
listening
I
to the
knew
radio.
you'd help. I knew you'd help me out.
Yes,
I told
exactly.
you.
Nope.
I need help.
Nope,
So
I'm just letting you flounder here. Pointing at a physical object on the radio.
I'm pointing at a very small table and saying it's half the size of that very small table. So I'm going to stand there with my acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And then I decided to play with an amazing stand-up bassist because a stand-up bass is so small as well on stage.
So small.
Yeah.
Stand-up bass,
So,
tiny.
Yeah. So I have a guy named John Steele who's an amazing bassist. He plays with all the grown-ups.
Okay.
And I'm very
Is he
lucky.
actually made of metal?
He absolutely
Yes,
made of metal.
Of steel, yeah.
it's
you nailed it.
Yeah.
That's not just his name.
You can't nail steel. That's the whole point, Keith.
Yeah, you riveted it. You are riveting.
There we go.
It's riveting. Yeah.
I get that a lot.
So we're playing, we're doing it as a duet.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, but it'll sound just like that, except with a few less instruments.
Without all of the instrumentation.
Yeah, you just have to use your imagination.
Are you doing electric guitar? I heard electric guitar.
I'm going to
on
do
there.
some electric and some acoustic.
Okay, switching back and forth.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to switch it up.
Excellent. Well, if you enjoyed that track, you can listen to the whole track at the 1 hour mark of this show. You can also catch more of her music and shows at www.camillemiller.com. Don't forget, Thursday, March 15th at the Vinyl Lounge, Washington, D.C. Go there and get a free CD, for God's sakes.
And stay warm.
How much is the show?
Oh, the show is free too.
So you go for free and get a free CD.
But you know what? There's a tip jar.
So there you go.
I've been getting some great gigs recently, and I've been introduced to the tip jar.
Yeah.
So that is
Yeah.
a thing. That is a thing now that I'm.
I would put in the tip jar a little note that says, tell people you're on a world tour, because that's my tip. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing that music with us. It sounds awesome. And I hope a bunch of people come and get their free CDs on March 15th.
Yeah.
Moving on, however, we're going to probably pull you into something you're not as talented at, I'm guessing. This is just a presumption
bad.
on
Nobody
my part.
is.
Yeah. Nobody does particularly well on this, and it's designed that way. So we're just going to embarrass you in front of our entire audience. This is a segment we like to call Please God, Just Get One Right. It's like the opposite of every other game show where you try to get the most you can right. Here, it's just get one right, and we'll think the world of you. If you don't, we'll still think the world of you, but you don't get a prize.
Very slowly.
Yeah.
Just like my tour.
If you do get one right, you'll get a prize from the Box of Fun. It is Uncle Archie's Box of Fun. If not, you will go home empty-handed and tell people how horrible the show was and that you never want to join us again.
I'm going to be sad about not getting something out of that box.
I know.
but
You know
I'm
what?
all right.
Please, God, just get one right.
Yes, that's it. So are you excited? Do you want to know your category?
Yes.
All right. It was chosen by Buffalo 40. They're the band that joined us last show.
I heard that. That was great.
I don't think you did because it releases on Thursday.
Oh, no. I heard the one with no vowels.
Yeah, that was J-Dubs.
Yes.
J-Dubs.
Yes, no vowels.
He picked the previous one.
Okay, that makes sense. Of course.
For Buffalo 40.
I did get
We
that.
do this so that you can't prepare in any way.
Right. You don't get to study the trivia.
We had some bands try to listen to the previous show and bone up on some trivia, and then they found out it was the wrong category. So Buffalo 40, not knowing who you were and having no personal vendetta against you, picked volcanoes.
But we know.
Excellent.
Volcanoes.
Perfect.
Which obviously, something that's real big in Canada. Heat and lava, really well known as a thing in Canada.
It's my specialty.
Yeah. So only way you could make it worse is if it was wind. So let's get started. Victor, would you like to start?
Yeah, I'll open her up.
All right.
So let me see here. I'm pulling up my list.
I can also start if you'd like.
This 1983 eruption was one of the deadliest and most destructive volcanic events in recorded history. At least 36,400 people died due to the eruption itself and the tsunamis it created.
No, I should know the answer. I don't know the answer.
The third explosion has been reported as the loudest sound heard in historic times.
Right there, I'm supposed to answer what it is? Give
What
it
do
to you?
What do you think it is?
I don't know if you guys can handle the answer.
Yeah. Well, we probably can't. But we'll just piss ourselves and we'll be fine.
Can we pat? So if I don't know it, what do I do? I just guess.
Guess, yeah.
No, this is nerve-wracking. I don't know. I don't know.
Don't know. Can I guess? I don't know that
Sure.
I'm right. I'm gonna go Krakatoa.
Krakatoa.
Yes!
The third
Yeah, look
eruption
at
of
that. You
Krakatoa
just-
caused
that
these
just came
tsunamis
to
that
you
wiped out most of the
naturally.
area.
I didn't even look that one up. I knew it was a
That
volcano.
explosion was so big that the island is gone.
Yeah. I'd heard about the sound thing because people heard it like thousands of miles away.
Right. There's a town in India that was like, is that ship out on the ocean? Are they shooting at us?
Yeah.
Is that what I heard?
And where was Krakatoa?
Krakatoa's in Indonesia.
Indonesia. So from Indonesia to India, they
No,
still
that's
thought
crazy.
that there was
Yeah.
a cannon going off.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right.
The seismic vibrations were felt around the earth 3 times.
Yeah.
Now, did you know all the answers to this before you gave this out? 'Cause
I actually did know that one.
You're
ahead of
reading it
time.
and saying it like you guys both knew the answers, and
No.
I do already feel really unintelligent.
I didn't know the answer. I guessed and I got it right.
Okay.
I wasn't absolutely certain.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, I know this one.
Yeah.
But that one I was like, I think it was that.
Okay.
So I was really happy that I got it.
Okay, good job.
Yeah.
All right.
You get the box of fun.
This one I did know before I researched it.
Okay.
So at 4,270 meters above sea level, this volcano is the largest on Earth. However, if you were to measure it from the seabed where it originates from, it would actually be 10,203 meters, which is larger than Mount Everest. What is its name?
Oh wow. Do you want to go first, Victor? Do you want to guess?
I already know the answer.
We researched it. I mean, we already knew going in, but yeah, I would have had this one.
It's called Manitoba.
Manitoba. That's not it.
Yeah.
But good guess.
Thank you.
I knew
you.
this because I grew up in Hawaii.
Oh, okay. There
Yeah,
we
Keith
go.
thinks
Yeah.
he's better than we are.
And so this is called Mauna Kea.
That one I did not know at all.
Not-
Krakatoa, I should have said. I do
Yeah.
know that somewhere.
It's
But this,
interesting.
no.
So Mauna Kea is one of 2 volcanoes, like large volcanoes on the Big Island. The other is Mauna Loa, and that's the largest, like by width or by
Oh,
volume,
wow.
I guess. I don't know, by like the circumference. But it's the biggest volcano in the world, where
Mm-hmm.
Mauna Kea is the tallest one in the world. So both of those.
It just starts under the ocean, right?
It starts on the
might-
ocean, made the Big Island of Hawaii.
It's
But
the
it's
tallest, not the highest. That's the difference.
Whoa.
It is the highest. No, it's
No,
the
no, no.
highest.
The tallest, the tallest mountain is this one. The highest one is Everest.
Mountain. Right. Yeah, it is the tallest mountain, but it is not the tallest from ocean. That's where we do
Yeah,
it. We
right.
do it from ocean.
I'm going to
level.
shut up now.
Yeah.
I'm going to write this down, I think, just so
Yeah.
that I can tell
Quiz-
people.
You can quiz your kids.
Well, actually, I think my daughter might have known the first one.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how
gonna be
lame I'm
embarrassing.
feeling.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would suggest flight. When that question comes up, don't fight your daughter. All right, Victor, what do you have?
This mountain looked radically different at the end of 1979 than it did in 1980. It's
I know
located
this.
in the United States.
I know
It's the one. Is it the one with all the faces on it? All the president.
No, it has to do with a volcano.
But isn't there? What's the one that isn't? What I don't know.
You're thinking of Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I was
but
thinking
that's
that.
Not a
Isn't
volcano.
there a volcano involved in that?
Maybe
What about
like
the
millions of
thing
years
that
ago.
Thelma and
This
Louise
mountain-
drove off into? Was that a volcano or just a large canyon?
That was a canyon, I think.
This
Yeah.
mountain looks radically different because it exploded and the entire top of the mountain got blown away.
Yeah. I feel like you might not know what a volcano is.
No, I do. It's the one with the lava coming off of it, right?
Yes, exactly.
No, I
That's
know.
the one.
Yeah, I know.
She got one right.
But before before they erupt, though,
Yeah.
you may not know that it's a volcano. Like until it actually erupts, right? It could just look like an innocent, really tall mountain.
It could. They
An
tend to be
innocent, really tall
except
mountain.
for the rumbling bit.
Did anybody else
but
hear
until,
that? Just
but,
me.
but until it erupts,
And
like
the scientists
seriously, you
and the
don't know.
scientists walking around it with measuring tools going, I don't know, I think this thing might erupt.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, technically every mountain. No, not every
and
mountain.
aren't there volcanoes under the sea that are
There are.
that sea?
Yeah,
Excuse me.
That's
Hello.
how
Yeah,
That's
I knew that.
how islands happen.
That's right. Yeah.
Islands typically are volcanic, but not all mountains are volcanic.
Okay.
Sometimes it's two plates smushing together and it pushes one plate
And
up.
Thelma and Louise, they
If
weren't
it's-
anywhere near a
If it's all
volcano.
jagged looking, usually that's because of plate tectonics.
Plate tectonics.
Yeah. If it's like smooth and cone kind of shaped, then that's going to be more like a volcano. So like
Okay.
I would think like Mount Fuji is probably a volcanic mountain, I would think.
I'm nodding on radio.
Yeah, I would think so. Maybe like Kilimanjaro, maybe that's a volcanic one.
Slightly volcanic,
Yeah.
occasionally.
Slightly volcanic. I think it either checks off as volcanic
Yeah.
or not.
So do you have a
anyway.
guess?
No.
I'm going to go, this is Mount St. Helen, isn't it?
It is Mount St. Helens, which
Yeah.
is mostly gone now.
Yeah. It's over in Washington.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
So it would have
In
been near
1980.
you.
It
I
just-
know.
Where
I
you
know.
grew up.
But the early 80s, you said 80, did you say, in 83?
Yeah.
It erupted in 80. Yep.
Yeah, I was
Just a baby.
very not
A
aware.
wee lass.
She was just a wee lad. She was 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah,
probably,
yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. There are 3 major kinds of volcanoes. What are they?
Oh, come on, aren't we done?
No, we've got 6. We did this at the beginning. That wasn't a trivia question of how many questions are. I told you 6.
Oh, you did? Well, I forgot. It's under pressure. My daughter knows the answer to this.
Under
She's
pressure.
studying this. I should have listened to her.
Okay.
Hannah, what are the types of
You can't
volcanoes?
phone a friend.
Hannah, that's my daughter.
You can
Help
poll
me.
the audience, though.
Yes.
You can poll the audience?
Yeah, they just won't answer because this is
Not till next week.
Yeah.
There's hot
The longest
volcanoes.
episode of Another
Hot
Ways That Hour.
volcanoes.
There's
Definitely
dormant volcanoes.
Dormant,
There's really messy ones.
messy volcanoes.
Violent exploding ones.
They're fighting.
Jagged, rocked, appearing as mountains, not cavernous,
This is more than
Yeah.
3, but I really like your categorization, so I'm kind of curious how long this
and
goes.
not. There's also the one that looks like it could be Mount Rushmore, but it's not a volcano.
Right.
So those are all the
ones
types.
that
So
are
there you go,
carved-
suckers.
One that's carved with faces, one that you drive cars off of.
A lot of categories here.
Okay, I'm done. Come on.
Yes. So no, there are 3 types. A shield volcano.
Oh, right.
A shield
I forgot that
volcano
one. Sorry.
has lava flows with low viscosity that flow dozens of kilometers, and it makes them very wide and smooth sloping flanks.
Right.
So it ends up being kind of these big, vast fields
Right.
of lava fields. You have stratovolcanoes. Stratovolcanoes are made up of different types of lava and eruptions of ash and rock, and they grow to enormous heights. So I would think that like Mount St. Helens was a stratovolcano.
Oh, right.
They go
It
boom.
goes
Those are the ones that
boom.
go boom.
Shield ones just go blah, 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 blah.
Make you go
Yeah.
boom.
And then you have cinder cone volcanoes. Cinder cone volcanoes are usually smaller and come from short-lived eruptions that only make a cone about 400 meters high. So baby
They're
volcanoes.
cute.
Yeah, they're adorable
They're
volcanoes.
like Cinderella.
They also go boom.
Cinderella
They're like
cinder cone.
Cinderella
Yeah.
cinder cones. That's
Yes.
so cute.
So there you go.
Turn to a volcano at midnight.
If anyone says, quick, I need to know the 3 types of volcanoes that exist in the world, you now have it. There you go. Just write that down.
Who was the band that picked this topic?
This was Buffalo 40.
40.
Buffalo 40.
If you want their email address, I can give it to you so that you can.
We
save-
also have their pictures, and
as
No, I'm
Yeah,
going to
I
find
looked
them.
up the social security numbers.
I'm
It's
gonna-
not that hard.
as a Canadian, I don't think that you'll swear at them, but maybe you'll just have backhanded compliments.
yeah,
that
yeah.
you'd
We're
send them.
very good at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love how you just wear anything.
You are very talented for Americans. All right, what's yours, Victor?
See, I'm torn. I got 2 more questions.
Okay.
I'll ask the easier one. What did one volcano say to the other volcano?
What did one volcano? Yeah, what?
Just a second.
Think romance. Romance.
I don't know. No, I don't know.
I love you.
I love you.
I saw it coming.
But my real question,
Yeah.
the Ring of Fire.
Ring of Fire.
Ring of
Johnny
Fire.
Cash. Johnny
Yeah.
Cash. Johnny
Johnny
Cash. Was he a
Uh-huh.
volcano as well?
Yes,
That you're
he's-
not telling me that. I didn't
he's a
know
Ring
that.
of
volcanic
Fire is a region of extensive volcanic activity. Contains the largest number of active volcanoes in the world. What
Yeah.
does it border?
What does it what?
Border.
What does it border?
What does it surround?
Yeah, I got the border thing. I just didn't.
That's
Ring
what
of
a border
Fire.
is.
The Ring of Fire.
It's a big
large. It's very large. It's on Earth.
Thank you. A very big lake. A very, very big lake.
Imagine the biggest thing
biggest
you could
lake.
say.
The biggest lake on Earth.
Oh, come on.
It's a saltwater
All right,
lake.
she's done.
I want to go home.
I know this one too.
Okay, go ahead, guys.
It's the Pacific Ocean.
The entire Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, that's
big lake.
It's not a big. Well,
Okay,
we weren't
okay,
just
okay.
going to go tell us the biggest ocean.
Okay,
We were trying to at least
okay.
hint you in the right direction.
Okay,
I
all
said
right.
the
Thanks,
biggest
guys.
That's why you
saltwater
have
lake.
Japan with they have a lot of like earthquakes and everything like that. You have like Indonesia and stuff with all of their volcanoes and stuff like that. Hawaii is down.
And all of their bullshit.
Yeah. You have Mount St. Helen, which is over here, on the United States side of things.
Look at you guys just geographically showing off.
Oh my God, I go bonkers for the rock cycle.
All
the
right.
rock cycle, the water cycle, like it thrills me.
All right, we're doing one last one. I was going to ask you, depending on when it erupted, volcanoes have one of 3 categories. What are those categories? You named one of them. I don't know that this is going to be the easiest of the 2 that I have.
Dormant?
That's one.
The
yeah.
dormant. Yes. Does that
But
count
you
as getting
need 2.
something right?
You need 2 more. You have
Oh.
all 3. I have 2.
Dormant, active,
Yeah.
and after it's that's the after it's cooled and done all that.
Active, dormant.
And
Sleepy.
no, it can't be sleeping. No.
Dopey.
Dopey. No, stop
Doc.
it. Stop it, Doc. Stop.
Grumpy.
Okay, wait. Active, dormant, and I don't know. Past it. I don't know. I don't know. Active, dormant, and
Extinct. Extinct is the last one.
I would not have got that. You were looking.
No.
You were giving me a look of great hope that I was
Yeah,
going to get one.
I
You
was-
had your eyebrows
I was
totally
so
raised. You're like,
excited.
come on, Camille, get it. And I had that was not in my head. I had no idea.
Camille,
I've never
I
heard
said it
that.
at the beginning. Please, God, just get one right.
I have a bonus one I'm hoping that she can
I
get.
got 2 bits of
Well,
one right. That's
yeah.
pretty good.
Here, let me try this last but not least. We're only supposed to give you 6, but he gave you an extra one. At 27 kilometers tall and 550 kilometers across, on what planet is the solar system's largest volcano?
Mars.
Yes!
Yes! I was right.
She got it! She got it! We got one! Oh, it's Mars. It's Olympus
I'm
Mons.
gonna cry. This is painful.
It's Olympus Mons on Mars. You get to pick a gift from Uncle Archie's box of fun. There you go. Reach on in there. This is so exciting. I'm glad we did the one extra one.
That was so painful.
We
You
love
did
giving
so
people
good.
prizes.
You got
I love
one right.
I got a prize. Look at I'm on
You can
on
open
radio.
it.
I'm
Go
like,
ahead.
can I look at
Yeah,
it?
open it. Go ahead.
Should I tell the people in Radio Land?
Yeah,
what,
absolutely.
I'm opening a
In
really
Radioland.
fun,
You got one right.
a fun paper. I got one right.
All right. While you're doing
earned
that,
it.
I got
what I
one
need
right.
is I need to know what hell you're going to unleash on the next guest of our show.
Oh, are you ready?
Yeah.
I've already thought about
You've
it.
thought about it? Okay, excellent.
So I can just pick my own. What
Yeah.
do I say it now?
Yeah, right now. What do you want?
The sport of curling.
Curling.
Oh yes, suckers.
This is good. I like
Shit
curling.
just got
If-
real.
If you had just
I'm
got,
gonna
if you
know
had just
these.
asked me about curling,
Yeah.
you would have had to make a whole other show for me.
What is the name of the thing that you push off from in curling?
The Rock.
No, you
the
push
Rock.
off
Oh,
from.
actually, I don't know. I don't really know that much.
Oh no!
didn't
You
think-
would have failed.
No, I didn't think.
It's
My
the hawk.
parents, my parents used to curl.
It's the hawk. That's the hawk.
The hawk. I
What
didn't
do you
know that.
call the
Okay, don't ask me more questions.
middle of the
I just-
target?
No, I'm done now. I got my prize.
The middle of the target that you try to throw the rock into? What do you call that?
I don't really know. Bullseye?
button.
The button. I don't know. See, you know things about curling.
I love
That's
curling.
why I was so excited.
Yeah.
Keith is a curler.
Oh gosh,
Yeah, but
sorry,
you're gonna
I failed you guys.
I have a feeling the next people are going to be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, they are. They're going to say, who's the band? Who's the person? And then they're going to come find me. I don't have a social security number, so they won't be able to find me.
What was it that you got? You got.
I
Badges,
I got
right?
badges to show
Nice.
that I'm the boss.
There you go.
I'm the sheriff.
The winners.
I'm going to give them to my kids.
All right, we're going to get some stories from you next. Here's the section we call near and far. So we're going to have 2 stories. One is one that happened close to home and one that happened out in your adventures. And I believe you have a lot of adventures. Want to make sure we get both of these in. So we'll start near. I hear that you had quite a story that happened close to home at the time at your kids' school. What happened there?
Yeah, the story came to my head as I was driving here and almost rammed into the back of somebody on the highway just because the traffic was
no.
going. Yeah, so I was very near
Yeah.
to the car in front of me, which
Right.
then I figured if I said that, I could just tell any story.
Yeah,
right?
you can tell any story now.
So this
Carte
just
blanche.
shows my personality if the volcano stuff didn't already.
I think it was really good.
Yeah, there we go. And so I had headphones on. I was listening to some music cranked quite loud.
Okay.
And I was dressed in workout gear, which
Yeah.
is what parents wear when they go to pick their kids up from school.
To embarrass
Makes
them.
sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
and so
hold on, I'm taking notes.
Yeah, you're taking out. So these guys were in preschool, very young, and
Yeah.
I was very close to my house, and I was rocking out, and I was in Sao Paulo in Brazil, country name dropping again,
Yeah.
walking along the sidewalk with 7 lanes of traffic
On your world tour.
beside me on my world tour to the daycare, and for absolutely no particular reason, I think I was listening to U2. Like
Me?
an old U2.
Oh, thank
I was
you.
listening to U2, like
Both
an old
of us.
album. I was rocking out. I
Me
was
too.
feeling kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was feeling cool.
Sure. Right,
Yeah,
as you
I had
would.
And for absolutely no reason whatsoever, I completely fell over, wiped out on the sidewalk, like ripped a hole in my like spandex
Oh, no.
workout clothes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't trip on anything. I just completely fell, rolled right over. And it was at a red light. So there was 7 lanes of traffic, well, 3
Yeah.
here and 3 there, completely
Oh, my
stopped right beside me.
goodness.
So I just laid there
It was
and
probably
waited for the light
What
to
do you
go
do?
green. Because I was so embarrassed. I wasn't hurt. I was just so embarrassed. There was absolutely no reason. And I swore that it was karma because I had kind of felt cool in my workout clothes listening
Right.
to U2.
Well, what it probably
That was
was
it.
is you're from Canada. There was probably a breeze, and you didn't know how to
You
compensate.
just weren't used to it.
You weren't
to it.
used to the wind.
That is it. And
That's amazing, and
I didn't urinate, which
which is really a bonus at
which
that
I
point.
think saved me from going to the police station. I think at the
pretty
time.
remarkable.
Did
if
you?
think
Were you
about it.
concerned that the people at the light just saw a prone woman and would stop and be like, "Hey, are you okay?" Because you
No.
think you'd jump up and be like, "I'm good. You guys go on ahead. I'm fine." Right? But you were like, "I'm gonna lay here and they won't see me." Like all people in San Paulo
'cause
are like are T-Rexes.
when you're in your car, I'm showing, when you're in your car to the radio people.
Yeah.
When you're driving in your car, right? If someone's just beside you, out of your peripheral vision, if they just go down, you might just forget about it, right? And then carry on.
You might forget about a person disappearing out of your peripheral.
If you see them bounce up and go, I'm okay,
Yeah.
to the vein, they're gonna laugh at you even more. So
They're gonna
Right.
judge.
that was my near story.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is-
That stuff happens to me
That's probably
all
my
the
favorite
time.
near story to date.
I do like that your brain just was like, just stay still and they won't see you.
I'm like, don't make eye contact. Just wait till the light goes green.
And then you had to pick up your kid. Did your kids see? Like, were you close enough to the school?
No, it's fine. I kind of limped in,
Okay.
and I think it's just because I shouldn't have been working out. It was karmically wrong.
Right. You're not to work out now,
Yeah.
or you're to work out in torn clothing like it's the 80s.
Yeah.
One of the
That's what you get
Maybe
for doing
it's not
stuff at all.
listening to you too. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
something was obviously
I was doing
against
it
you.
all wrong.
That's amazing. That
There
is
you go.
such a great story. How about far? So, something out on your adventures. It sounds like you've had adventures all over the world. You were telling me something happening on tour while you were in the UK on your
Yeah.
patient world tour.
My very patient and aging world tour.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Your enjoy the scenery world tour.
Yeah, so we do move around quite a bit, but as I said, my husband's from the UK, and I've played in
Okay.
the UK quite a bit.
Okay.
So, I mean, not like, I've played to 5 and 10 people,
Yeah.
sometimes 25.
I've done that.
Yeah.
oh, shit.
Yeah,
25?
Big,
25.
big.
Woo.
And, in those British pubs, they're small, so it looks like there's thousands of people.
Right. They have to stack them on top of each other at that point.
Yeah. So, so this was the last of 10 dates.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 3 dates I got to play in Glastonbury and go down to, I had to write it down because I couldn't remember, to Portland Arms and Dorset.
Arms. Okay.
So like way down south, I did a really cool house festival. Anyways.
These
but
are
I
all
had-
things that mean nothing to me, just so
Cool.
you know.
Yeah,
I'm
solid.
like, yeah, okay. That's I believe you could say anything.
Volcanoes, huh?
Yeah, you could be like, I stopped by,
totally.
the London volcano. I'd be like, that sounds legit.
I'm sitting there going,
Yeah.
See how it feels?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I had to get a rental car.
we're running out of time. Go.
I had to get a rental car. So I had to get a rental car, and I had to drive myself from. Oh, is that it? Am I done?
Go.
It's okay. The near was good enough.
The near-
The near was good enough.
All right, next time you come on the
Yes,
show,
next time.
you are
No
going to have to tell us
volcanoes.
your far story.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, everybody didn't get your far story. That's very sad. All right, so everybody, this is Camille Miller. She's playing Thursday, March 15th at the Vinyl Lounge in Washington, D.C.
No volcanoes.
Go check her out. There are no volcanoes, but free CDs. Also, Friday, March 16th, Vim and Vigor at the Ugly Mug in Washington, D.C. Box Era at Dante's Bar in Frostburg, Maryland. Fuzz Queen at Baltimore's Free Farm in, guess what, Baltimore, Maryland. Saturday, March 17th, Turtle Recall at Clarendon Grill, Arlington, Virginia. And Rhett Repco at the Chunkin' Monkey in Austin, Texas. Please like our posts, follow us, retweet us, share the show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We cannot do this without you. Thanks to Kevin Evinger, McNally22, Justin Rogers from Metal Records, Alchemical Records, and engineer Adam for all their contributions. Thanks most of all to Camille Miller for wasting a perfectly good hour with us. This has been another wasted hour, and if you just realized that, don't blame us. We warned you.
I'm impressed, Keith. You're really getting through that these days.